Once upon a time, in a lush forest, a rabbit and a tortoise had a disagreement. The rabbit, known for his speed, often teased the slow-moving tortoise, bragging that he was the fastest creature in the forest. Tired of the rabbit's constant arrogance, the tortoise calmly challenged him to a race. The rabbit laughed, thinking he would win easily, but he accepted the challenge. On the day of the race, the other animals gathered to watch. As soon as the race began, the rabbit shot off, leaving the tortoise far behind, confident he would win. The rabbit decided to rest under a tree halfway through the race. "There's no way the tortoise will catch up," he thought, as he drifted into a nap. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept moving steadily, step by step, never stopping or getting discouraged. By the time the rabbit woke up, he realized the tortoise had already passed him and was nearing the finish line. The rabbit darted forward, racing as fast as he could, but it was too late. The tortoise crossed the finish line first and won the race. The rabbit was humiliated. He congratulated the tortoise and admitted his mistake in underestimating him. The tortoise, wise and kind, forgave the rabbit and simply said, "Slow and steady wins the race." The rabbit, wanting to prove his true speed, proposed a rematch. He promised not to stop or rest this time, but to race with full focus. The tortoise agreed, and the animals gathered again to watch. In this second race, the rabbit ran fast and steady without stopping. The tortoise, though still slow and steady, couldn't match the rabbit's continuous speed. The rabbit crossed the finish line first, and this time he learned that focus and consistency could also lead to victory. The new moral became, fast and continuous effort wins the race. After several races, each with its own lesson, the tortoise approached the rabbit with a new suggestion. "How about we try a race on a different path?" he proposed. The rabbit, intrigued, smiled and agreed, thinking he was ready for any challenge the tortoise could offer. This new race route included a river that had to be crossed before reaching the finish line. As the race began, the rabbit sprinted ahead, confident he would win easily. But when he reached the river, he came to an abrupt halt. He realized he couldn't cross because he couldn't swim. Just then, the tortoise arrived at the riverbank. Calmly, he slid into the water, swam across the river, climbed up the bank on the other side, and crossed the finish line, winning the race. Watching from the riverbank, the rabbit realized he had tried to tackle a path that didn't suit his abilities. He learned a new lesson. Make your path according to your strengths. Humbled, the rabbit asked the tortoise if they could race once more. The tortoise agreed, and they decided to race along the same path. However, this time, the rabbit approached the situation thoughtfully. Before the race began, he said to the tortoise, "If you help me cross the river, I'll help you move faster on the land." The tortoise liked the idea, and they decided to work together. When the race began, the rabbit picked up the tortoise and ran as fast as he could along the path until they reached the river. There, the tortoise took over, carrying the rabbit on his back as he swam across. Once they reached the other side, the rabbit lifted the tortoise and dashed to the finish line. For the first time, they crossed the finish line together, sharing the victory. They realized that by understanding each other's strengths and working as a team, they could achieve more than they ever could alone. The final lesson of their story became identify the situation and work together to achieve success.